People from across the country and around the world gathered in New York City on September 21st for history's largest march on climate change. Hundreds of thousands of people marched from 86th Street down to 34th Street for their environmental causes.
Yeah, we've brought 13 people from across the Navajo Nation and the southwestern U.S. because our communities are the first impacted by climate change and also the causes of climate change. So where we work on Black Mesa is home to 2 coal mines. Our reservation is surrounded by 7 coal-fired power plants. The 3 biggest coal-fired power plants in the western United States are on our reservation.
Among the activists were high-profile world leaders who are gearing up for the upcoming climate summit at the 69th UN General Assembly.
100 or 200,000 people, because we know that global warming is real, it's caused by human activity, and that it is already causing devastating problems in America and around the world. We need to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy if we're going to save this planet for our kids and our grandchildren.
Environmentalists marched alongside UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and Special Envoy Leonardo DiCaprio. Their goal was to demand action.
So I'm here to tell UN world leaders that the time to act on climate change is now.
Citizen groups from within New York City raised their voices for environmental justice for their communities.
I'm here to speak for all the trees that don't have a voice. I come from the South Bronx, and it's an area that's polluted with a lot of just like pollution, a lot of smog, and a lot of high asthma rates. Recently, there was a teacher that I worked with who passed away from asthma, and we wanted to just kind of like stand here and just like camaraderie, or what's the word that I'm looking for, but we wanted in solidarity. We wanted to stand in solidarity for everyone who suffers from asthma and all the trees that really like don't have a voice to speak for themselves. So I'm here marching with some friends, and we want to see some action being done today.
In an array of fanfare and force, the march commenced in a block party hours later. Participants were encouraged to leave their mark by signing personal messages on a tree of ribbons.
We had over 1,000 volunteers doing things like peacekeeping and holding the march lines and getting water distributed and those types of things. And I'm supporting the volunteers today. And the goal of the climate march, I think there's sort of like heaps of goals that are packed into it. And wouldn't say there's like one sort of overarching, we're pushing for climate, or like a carbon tax or something like that, but more of like a show of force, the beginning of a movement of movements.
Noise was made and numbers were reached, but now the Peoples of the Climate March await results as leaders from around the world begin negotiations this week.